No worries. No worries. We'll get this thing rolling here. Good to see you guys. Hello again. This will be the start of the recording, of course. Put that little message that I get to edit out later on. So we'll just take it's a nice small group. So we'll take a little minute. Jessica's new. We'll get you guys to introduce yourselves to her, and then she can introduce herself as well. And then just talk a little bit about what the heck we've been doing over this last summer. Whether it was a break or whether it was an opportunity to move as Adam, or was it a recalibration, or you just got busy with work. Share a little bit about that with you as well. I'll start just to take the pressure off. So my name is Richard. I started this group about 2020. It was a networking group. For me, the method was I used to do web application development, did everything in-house, did it all by myself. And then as I started to work with other agencies, like I worked with Adam at one time, I moved away from the doing and became more about, a client representative or team representative or something else. And it was more always speaking on behalf of what an agency can do, knowing how to solve the client's problems, but having a team behind me in the agency. When I stepped out on my own again, when I had my first business, it was like I could do everything in-house. It was a team of me. Even though I was bringing other people on, it was a much different atmosphere than like, okay, I know how to help people, but I need a team behind it. And that's why I kind of got into this group. Just bringing a network together to have access to people. And it was a way to just get business as well. What I do, I do digital transformation. So over the years, I've extended moving beyond web, got into some CRM when I was working with Adam at Human Code. We were a reseller for HubSpot. And then now where I'm working, we're getting into other things. So now I've actually got a master's in digital transformation. So I actually do a heck of a lot more than that now. So it's everything to do to help companies find software that talk to each other. So, and I kind of shared with you guys already, so I won't share too much of my summer break. I had a couple of questions that I pitched to you guys. What do you guys do for summer? Do you plan it out? Do you let it happen if you have the time? Do you roll like that? I personally, having kids and only having 2 months to actually typically take a vacation typically. My wife and I plan it out quite a bit. I'll block the time off. And I will try. Like this time, it was one of the first times I didn't take a laptop. I totally regretted it because when I got stuck in Vancouver, I had nothing but a phone to work with. It was horrible. But I kind of made this pledge, like I shut down when I go on vacation. So maybe I'll pass it over. Adam was the first one on the call. Let him go first. He can talk about his new place and what his plans are. I think you said Europe, Adam. Go ahead, man.
Sure. So, hi, I'm Adam. I am a software developer working for myself. I help small, medium-sized businesses kind of in that space of our existing software isn't working for us, but we don't want to spend hundreds of thousands on a custom CRM implementation. So I kind of help them navigate that spot in between and build solutions specifically for their business. Summer's been good. Summer's been busy. As I mentioned, I just moved to Dundas, which I'm really enjoying. Enjoying a little bit more space, a little bit more nature. And summer plans, usually more on the spontaneous side of things. That said, anything I do a lot of planning for. So kind of not planning too far ahead, but when I do plan, my head's down and planning quite a lot in that loose, structured way of like, for example, like we're going to the UK in a few weeks. So, charting out all the like, where's the nice bakery close to the Airbnb, like where are all the things that we can do, and then kind of have a spontaneous trip when we're there.
Nice. Yeah, you got to plan Europe out because it's going to fly by, right? So,
yeah.
How long are you going this time?
I think we're about 9 days.
Nice. Yeah. That's well coordinated. How about you, Linda?
So I was just looking up your questions that you had sent earlier today to make sure I can get them all. My name is Linda Kern. I also work for myself. My company is the Kern Group. And I help companies and consult with companies around sales and business development, which is the same thing. I just use both words in case people use them differently. And so that type of consulting looks like a lot of different things. I coach salespeople, I coach sales leaders. Sometimes I'll take a fractional sales leadership role in a small to mid-sized business. Usually that's a shorter term engagement, a year or two, not necessarily forever. I really, the whole goal of the work that I do is to help them improve their sales and achieve their sales goals. This summer, so I too love summer, Dorothy. I live and love the summertime. I love the vibe. I love the feel. So the first of the summer, my husband and I went to the UK, Adam, and we spent a week in London. And actually, we decided we'd try working. But when you're in London, you can really only work a half a day, which is okay with me. So we worked the afternoons just because of the time change. And then so had the mornings off, had the evenings off. And then the second week, we went to the southwest coast of England and down to where the beaches are. So that was really nice. Really enjoyed that. And then I have been up north since I got back from the UK. So I'm still up north for this is our last week up north. And I've taken a bunch of time off, but I've also worked. So right now I'm working at the co-working space in Huntsville. My husband's working upstairs. My dog is on the floor here. So yeah, it's been a really nice summer. It's very chilly up here right now, but it was hot earlier. But I think it's also chilly in the city. So, but the heat's not gone. There's no way it's gone this early for good. So we're going to get some hot days in September for sure.
I feel like I went to Vancouver and it was a shockingly hot there, like not as humid as here, but hot and beautiful clear skies. And then it started to cool down, and that cool weather came back with me. I was like, what happened? Summer just ended just like that, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Canada strike? Is that why you couldn't get back?
Yeah, exactly. I got nabbed. I was flying out on the Saturday. The strike was happening. I had heard it wasn't going to happen until later in the day. I had a 7:40 flight, and I was like, "Well, my flight's still there." I went to watch a basketball game on the Friday, and as I'm sitting down to watch the game, I get a text message that my flight was canceled. It was flying out the next morning, so it was fun. So, crazy end of a nice week. It was beautiful weather in Vancouver. Beautiful. I was out visiting my brother and my family out there, so it was nice.
Nice.
How are you, Dorothy?
Hi, Jessica. Nice to meet you. Welcome. So I'm Dorothy Vernon Brown, of course. Dorothy, as in the Wizard of Oz, and I work with business owners, entrepreneurs like yourself, save time and get more hours back in your day by leveraging the power of automation and AI. So I work typically with coaches, consultants to help automate their digital campaigns, or help automate their customer service journey. In terms of someone, I'm making a slight shift, and I'll let you all know about it. So this summer for me, in terms of work, I think I did mention about working on my personal brand. So that's, it's not yet complete. So that's what I'm doing, and I'm making the slight shift in the offerings there. That's what I've been working on. But a lot of you know I chair a charity. Summer was wild for us. We hired students, we had a fundraising, and I was also applying for grants. So my summer was a lot about the charity as well, just getting us further ahead. And so it was pretty good. Some experiences were new, so always like when we get new experiences, because that brings me up the learning curve. So that was pretty good. So that was me and summer. And of course all the local things we do, and some of the patients that I went out to see. I mean, that was for me was really, really great, visiting with patients and so on, and just enjoying summer and the fruits. For me, it's just about the fruits.
Dorothy, I apologize. I have to introduce you to Brandon. I forgot, but I'll do that tonight before I go to bed, I promise.
Thank you very much.
That means you got to go next, Mr. Detroit Red Wings.
Is that me with the bad hairdo? Sure. Well, sorry,
I don't have that problem.
I actually, that's first world problems. I actually first missed the first 10 minutes. What's happening?
We're just talking about, so yeah, you know what? I'll pass it to Christina. You can see we're just talking about introduce ourselves. Jessica's new to the group, and just summer. Talk about summer. Was it, what does it look like for you? Is it planned? What do you do to relax? What do you prefer? Like, do you take little, like a lot of people, like they work around their business, or do they plan a vacation and then work that into their business? And how do you fit that in? How do you block it off? That's kind of like we're just sharing. That was what was on my mind before we set the call. Anyhow.
Yeah. So for me, I guess yeah. Hi Jessica. My name is Manu. I'm an accountant. I think I saw you last week as well, I believe. So welcome.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I focus on tax and estate planning. As plus I actually we're a full service firm, but that's what I do. For my summer, I'm seasonally quiet in the summertime. People don't want to talk to me. I don't mind actually. So it allows me to clean my garage out. And really what I did was a whole lot of nothing, quite frankly. I haven't done this in a long, long time. So I did nothing actually, honest to God. Yeah.
Nice. That's a good break. Jessica, were you on the last call? I didn't even know because I was in the airport. I didn't even notice probably.
Oh, no.
No.
I was on the revenue call, but I missed the operations call.
Okay, good.
Okay.
So
It is one of them. I don't know which one. I don't know. Yeah.
yeah, I wasn't on the revenue one. I was very much into my vacation in Vancouver that time. Appreciate that. Well, Christina, we just talked, but you can share a little bit of what you talked.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So hi, Jessica. Yeah, I think I saw you in one of the calls, probably the revenue call as well. So Christina Raheja, I run my digital marketing company specializing on Google Ads, SEO, and AI search. So I help online businesses, professional service firms, and not-for-profits to generate leads and revenue. And so what has my summer been like? Honestly, a lot of it. We're at the boat often, so I do love summer as well. So, it's been a work hard, have fun summer. Friday mornings, we head up there, and yes, I agree with you, Linda. There's still much heat to come in September. Not today. Today is a rainy, cold day downtown. But yeah, so I'm enjoying, but I also am working hard. So it's kind of that balance. Like I do take time off, but then I also am definitely focused on sort of whether it's the pipeline or processes for my business in the summer. So I try to balance that.
Excellent.
Yeah, nice to see everyone.
And you can tell Christina's in the boats. It's right on her LinkedIn headline.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a big part. It's a big part of your life, obviously. All right.
Absolutely.
I'll get Eden to go, and then we'll get Jessica to introduce herself. Did you get a chance to introduce yourself at the revenue group? Probably not, right? Jessica, sorry.
I did briefly, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
perfect. Excellent. Okay, go ahead, Eden.
Okay, hi. I'm Eden Spodek, founder of Spodek & Co., digital marketing firm. I'm also a leadership coach, and we focus essentially on helping businesses that are really needing to refine their strategies and be able to either they need help on the executional side, or we help empower them to manage their own strategies themselves and do a lot of work in the online education space, as Manu knows, because we've just been talking a lot about that as well. And ideally we work with purpose-driven clients, not exclusively though. So just keeping things afloat. In terms of summer, I really, other than a day at the cottage last Friday, I have been saving my vacation, and it won't be much of a vacation, but it'll be a good time. One of my sons is getting married a week from Sunday. So focusing on that, and next week I will be on vacation. Sort of. It's not really vacation, but vacation from work. And then at some point, my husband and I are planning to do something and get away.
Nice. So I would say you're box number 2. You work around your work, and then
actually not, because the wedding is scheduled.
Okay, there you go.
I'm
There you
taking
go.
my
That's right.
vacation around the wedding because I need to be off then. No, I will take vacation based on a good time to go away in terms of where we want to go, and well, partly in, work seasonally used to be a thing. It's really changed over the past 2.5, 3 years. Actually, it's changed since COVID, but the seasonality of it has really changed in the last couple years. And because crazy as it sounds, we actually start to get busier in July and August, which, and it used to be totally quiet for us. Although I'm quieter work-wise right now, so I'm working on gearing up for fall, gearing up for this wedding that's taking a ton of my bandwidth at the moment.
Who's going to Ryan Wong's event
What's
today?
tonight? Yeah, good question, man. Good question.
I only
Anybody?
ask 2 questions, bro.
Yeah, I am.
Is that Henrik? You said I am?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Does
So
anybody else?
I find it's all of us that shows up. It's the whole B2B cohort that shows up, right? It sounds like a
Yeah.
reunion.
I'll
Like
go to the
Ryan's
one
kind of
in
milking
Toronto.
us.
Yeah.
Like,
I was gonna go, but it's just kind of like I'm just getting back in the swing of things, getting back from holiday. So I just couldn't really justify just taking the night off and going to do that. So I just didn't. I hadn't signed up. But yeah, I typically go. I like the ones in Burlington. They're closer to me. I'm out west, so yeah. Have you heard of you've met Ryan, right, Jessica? Yeah. So are you
Yeah,
going to the
I've
booth?
gone
You're
to a
in
couple
Toronto
of the
though.
Toronto ones.
Yeah. You'd be going. It'd be a big haul to come down to Burlington. You're not getting much difference. Like I would say, go to the Toronto when you're in Toronto. No. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Jessica. Do you have like you could talk about the seasonality of your work if there is one, or do you change as your clients' fiscal ends and whatnot? So
Yeah, so I'm Jessica. I'm relatively new to the B2B cohort. I was introduced through Karen Tam to Richard. So I started a fractional CFO advisory practice in February. So I'm working for myself. Before that, I was in corporate finance. But now I provide financial planning and analytics for small businesses, scenario planning. Anytime somebody feels that they've sort of outgrown basic bookkeeping and they need something more like forward-looking, forecasting, playing out scenarios, that's kind of what I do. And I think in terms of seasonality, like I've noticed in the corporate world, it used to just slow down for the summer. Everybody went on vacation and everything got quiet. And I liked it because then I could catch up on everything else because I was always really busy in January, February, March, planning out the year and then like reforecasting. And all of a sudden everybody's gone and nobody cares to talk about the business anymore. So I'm finding now, since I've started this business, it seems somewhat the same. Like people are trying to line up meetings for September onwards. So September, I'm rammed all of a sudden. But I'm just trying to take like August, like just take my time now. I like sticking around Toronto in the summer because it's nice weather. There's a lot going on, lots of festivities. And then I like to vacation kind of in spring and fall when everything seems to be cheaper and less crowded. So that's how I do it. When I do vacation though, I like to just be completely unplugged. I don't really want to think about work. So I try not to take calls or meetings when I'm vacationing.
you don't bring a laptop either, I gather, right?
Yeah, like it's such a pain to lug that around. If it's something easy that I can just sort of use my phone on, I'd be fine to take it. But in finance, there's all these spreadsheets, and then you got to connect into somebody's database and stuff like that. I'm like, forget it. That's just too
That's
much of
too
a headache
much.
to do on hotel Wi-Fi.
Oh God, yeah, that would be painful. That would be totally painful. Let me just see, who have I missed? Henrik, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm a fractional CFO as well. So I work with businesses generally 1 to 10 million in revenue, 5 to 20 staff, and they need some more financial planning, management, financial reporting, cash flow analysis, forecasting, budgeting, helping with financing. Yeah, so that's basically what I do. I work mainly with tech companies and a lot in business services, marketing agencies, advertising agencies, branding agencies, that kind of stuff. I've done a bit there. Yeah, vacations. My wife doesn't like to go away in the summertime, but we have a big garden. So we went away on a road trip here 2 weeks ago, just in Ontario, which was very nice. Ontario and Quebec. We might go away in the fall. But when I do go away, I like to plan it fairly well. I find I get much more out. Like I don't want to sort of go, spur of the moment to Europe. Like I want to plan that out, for instance.
Yeah, and in terms of work too, do you plan it so you can leave? Like, do you push all your meetings out? Do you do all the projects you had to do before you go? Like, how do you do that?
Well, the last two occasions I've sort of I have been able to do what Linda's done. I sort of take my laptop with me and have some meetings. And in Europe, you know, you can do that late at night because of the time difference. So I haven't sort of done that. That's sort of just, and that's probably what I will do in the fall as well. I will probably let the clients know, but I will probably work a little bit.
Yeah, so you're available but not scheduling, basically. That's interesting.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Tracy, how are you? It's been a while. Good to see you. We're just sharing a little bit about each other. It's a member networking call, so we're trying to get to know each other beyond just business, right? So, like, what are the other things as you strike up a relationship with somebody you're working with? What are the other things we could share about each other? And just kind of theming on summer. It's the end of the summer here in Canada. We get like 2 real hot months, and then it just kind of feels like it goes into winter almost immediately, right? So I don't know what it's like in England, but share what's your summer like? Tell us a little bit about yourself first. You're on mute as well, so just
It's still on mute.
yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm back on. Yeah, no, we've had a fabulous summer, actually. It's just about to start raining, so we're scheduled to have rain for the next couple of weeks. So maybe that's the end of our summer, which it often is in September. So yeah, it's been great weather-wise. So that's good. Not really looking forward to a long winter, but there you go. I haven't been away. I just spent 4 days up in the Lake District, which is north of England, just before you get to Scotland. And it's got loads of lakes and loads of mountains, and it's really, really pretty. Yeah, so that's my summer pretty much. I've been busy this year because I started a podcast in March. And even though I've got an agency, it's taken a lot of time away from my, life generally, business and personal. It takes so much longer than I thought to promote it, to find sponsors, to organize guests, that sort of thing. But anyway, it's fun. And I've got a very large sponsor, which I've had for nearly 3 months, Wix Studio, who is a bit like WordPress. I don't know whether you know them, like Squarespace, Wix, and WordPress, the top 3. Yeah, no, so it's been fun. Met a lot of good people, and just trying to get into the flow of it so I can get a process together that works, that I can then pass over. So I'm trying, as part of that, trying to get into the whole AI thing. But obviously it takes longer up front to get AI to do like workflows and organize custom GPTs and all that sort of stuff. So it's going to be easier, but it's not at the moment. Yeah, so what do I do? So basically my area is marketing. I've had my business for 35 years. I've always worked in marketing in corporate, on the consultancy side. And then what I do now, what I started doing 35 years ago, was helping marketing agencies to get noticed for what makes them great and what makes them different, and turn that into leads and business growth. So basically supporting businesses to alleviate the stress that's caused by marketing and sales, because nobody really wants to do it. And really the key to what I do is really identifying, what's not working, identifying what is working, and more importantly, to work out what's going to definitely work for that particular agency, consultancy, business moving forward. So it's everything from strategy to planning to implementation.
Nice, excellent. So when you go away, when you went to the lakes, did you plan that? Did you shut down completely? Did you bring your laptop just in case? How did that work? The switching to a podcast help with mitigating and planning?
Yeah, so bitter experience has taught me that to try and take my work away with me just really doesn't work. It's just, I find it far too stressful. And so I used to live in Spain, so I used to come backwards and forwards. And that was even worse for some reason than just going on holiday. So I learned a long time ago not to take it, to push everything to the sides before you go and after you go. So you're so busy before you go, you just sleep on holiday, and so busy when you get back, you just wonder why you ever went. So sounds a bit dramatic, doesn't it? But you know what I mean. So yeah.
I could totally relate to that. It's that crazy rush before you go, and then it's the crazy catch up when you got back. What's the fall like? So we're going in. So fall for me, it spells a selling season. So I'm used to dealing with annual contracts that basically get negotiated in September and start kind of early January or February kind of thing. And fall tends to be like a heavy sales season. Do you notice that do you guys follow that same sort of pattern? As even you mentioned the seasonality aspect is gone, right? So what's that like for you guys? What's making you guys nervous for the coming of the September other than the weather change? I know, Christina, you're working on your systems. Sounds like you're busting out the last little bit of summer just to get things organized for the fall. How's that going?
Yeah, it's good. You know what? There's so many different processes, and I think I'm just trying to kind of get everything back on track. So yeah, I haven't given myself sort of a beginning of fall deadline, but it's definitely a end of year because I have some big ambitions of things I want to get done. But yeah, I think that in general, a lot of people follow, as you had said, that even if they don't have kids, of like the July, August are sort of the summer, and September is sort of back to school, back to work. So I think whether it's big mandates or not, I just think people have more of a business focus than let's sort of enjoy the sunshine as much as we can. So yeah, I'm sure September will probably be busier for all of us too. So especially Eden with the wedding. Congrats again.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. When is that wedding? It's in weeks away, I guess, right?
No, it's a week from Sunday.
A week from
It's
Sunday.
pretty
Oof.
soon. The first weekend after Labor Day. So
Nice. Oh, that'll be nice for them when they have their anniversaries and stuff like that. I got married on a long weekend, which lined up with Caravana, which now that's my reminder of anniversaries all the times. Caravana weekend. Like, that was not well planned. Oh well.
well, theirs is during TIFF's 50th, and they're getting married downtown. We're in Toronto, so
Oh,
that's
it's
going
gonna
to
be
be a
interesting.
little interesting.
Yeah, the space is gonna be tight. That's for
It's
sure.
going to be tight. We have our own parking lot, thank goodness, because
Oh,
where it
okay.
is. Well, we don't really. It's a city lot that rents it to the venue.
Oh, nice. Okay,
So
good. So you can control that. That's great.
so
That's
it's our
exciting.
lot for the day, and we're off the beaten path for TIFF, but we're close enough that it will definitely have an impact, and it definitely has an impact on people needing where to stay who are coming in from away. Yeah, no, it'll be good. It's
Yeah.
my son's birthday 2 days later, so
Oh, that's exciting.
hopefully that'll be okay. Yeah,
Two
Uh,
anchors
it's
together
all
there.
good. Yeah, it's
I'm going to
all
a TIFF
good.
movie that same night. Maybe it's right
Are
around the way.
you? What are you going to see? I love movies and
Nuremberg, actually, I think it's that night. Yeah, it looks actually
oh,
quite good.
cool.
I know.
Very good.
That's a big Toronto thing to go down there. I used to go to
It's an international thing.
Ryerson. Yeah, I used to go to Ryerson, and the start of the semester was like walking through TIFF basically, right? So all the time, because it's right down it used to be right down in that same area. It moves around a little bit since. I had a friend that was starting. She made a career choice to do acting, like coming from the banking industry, and then switched to acting. She's really good. She's funny. She was starring in her first series. Can't remember, like it was on Gem for one, and we all went down to see it, and it was in a new location there. It was fun, lots of fun. That's the first time I've been through TIFF since school, basically. So a long
Oh,
time.
wow. Yeah, the city is going to get taken, the downtown area. There's a lot around the festival. September
Oh,
4th
that's
to the
good.
Yeah.
14th. Yeah.
That's good.
And
We're
it's
struggling.
50th anniversary this year, so it's
Yeah,
going to be a big deal.
yeah.
Fun fact, which kind of goes against my seasonality, but I actually worked for a foreign film, UK Polish co-production years ago at TIFF.
Oh,
So
very cool. So do you guys still attend TIFF as a result of that, or?
Well, they hired me to help drive awareness. That was in the early days of online marketing and blogging, and they
yeah.
hired me to help them build awareness because it was a family film. So it was moms and kids, and we actually did something their PR people were stunned that I got the okay for. And that was that the star of the film actually, well, it was a combination live action animation, and Heather Graham was actually the star in it. It was actually a movie that she did that was family friendly. And she agreed, her agent agreed. We did a mini, like a meet and greet for all these moms who blogged and their kids.
Oh, very cool. That's
Which
smart.
is
So they
very
talked
cool.
about it. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
her
pretty
PR
cool.
agent, the PR agent for the film didn't think, they thought, oh, you're crazy to ask. And we're like, we'll see. And of course, the producer director said, sure, and arranged it. So that was
Oh,
fun.
wow.
That was in the
My
very
one
early days.
Yeah, my one, not to take this over for TIFF, but my one like little thing I would say on, I actually worked for the festival for a couple of years. And what shocked me is that like that TIFF is actually a charity, sort of nonprofit. I think a lot of people see the glitz and glam and red carpet and all the talent that comes, but their mission is sort of to transform the way people see the world through film. Like, I don't know, there's been all kinds of controversy with everything with Israel and Palestine and one of the films. Anyhow, I just had no idea it was a charity before I'd worked there. So that's my
Oh,
only
that's
fun fact to
interesting.
him.
Yeah, no, that is it. It's nonprofit, right? So, and it's one of the biggest movie events around the world, right? So next to, I guess, cons, whatever it's called. So that's good. So tell me, so other things that are brewing in your world these days, Linda, I was going to ask you, like, I've made an effort to set up a bunch of in-person meetings right before as the weather was getting good, and then stop right when the weather really got good because I didn't want to take on that ownership through the summer and trying to do 2 vacations this summer at the same time. What's the sales cycle like? Seasonality, like, it's good. Should we do the in-person meetings again? Is that as the weather's
Definitely
getting
interesting, yeah. If people will see you, go see them, because it's just the best way is to be in person. I mean, people can sense the kind of character we are, the kind of person we are. They get just a feel for who we are. And so always in person if they're accepting of it. Second best is virtual, but definitely I'd say for most of us here, if not exclusively all of us, summer it would be better. It's funny,
Yeah.
this quarter that we're just we've got one more month. I was doing my numbers a while back, and this quarter for some reason was always really big for me. But I think it's because I would start working with clients in the fall or January, realize their needs, and then increase the engagement by the time the third quarter came by. So it wasn't like new stuff was coming in the third quarter. It was sort of like, oh yeah, you need more of my time and attention. And that's the only sort of thing I can think as to why the third quarter would be higher for me. But typically the activity, the new business activity and the new client meetings and things like that, I think for most of us on this call, it would be February and January, or sorry, September and January.
Yeah. The end and the start of the first two, the end of the quarter, start of a quarter, basically.
Yeah, pretty much, because it's like, people are reevaluating things. Oh, we should, let's leave it to September. Let's look at, I'm going to start a new client actually in September. Or let's leave it to January. Let's start fresh in the new year. Let's start fresh in September. So it's just kind of the sort of coincides almost less with fiscal years and more with kind of, fresh starts. September's a fresh start. January's a fresh start. Coming off of both are coming off of vacation season. So
I agree with you on that. The one thing I would say sometimes about the financials where it goes into play is that like September near the end of the year, people are like, oh, I have a little bit of budget that I need to spend before the end of the year. And January, oh, it's a fresh budget. I can spend a little bit more at that point. But I totally agree with the points you were making.
Yeah. And so it's a good time to get back out there, reach out to former prospects, former clients, do some networking. The Mississauga Board of Trade is actually going to try a networking lunch in September. I think it's the last I think it's September 30th, if I'm not mistaken. I can't make it, but I'm wondering actually if the date that I have already booked that's been in my calendar forever is changed, and then I'll go because I'd like to try a 2-hour lunch networking session. They usually do morning and after hours, so it'd be just to see who'd be able to go.
Yeah, and see what the conversations are like at lunch when it's a little bit more, like you get there, a certain time, you got to leave by a certain time, right? You're not like
Yeah,
where if you get there early in the morning, you have a longer conversation, you got to end it. And at the end of the evening, you can let the conversation straggle a little bit. So that's interesting too.
yeah,
That's good sharing. I find so Christmas. Yeah, I totally get that. The January, everything gets pushed off. Like Christmas almost doesn't exist for a project world that we always live. The month ahead, right? Like that makes the year go fast because you're always planning. Trying when's this thing launching? When's it starting? Where are we at? Kind of thing. And Christmas was the season to wrap things up and not start anything new till January, right? So yeah, I totally recall that. So does that follow the same way for you, Tracy, in UK? Oh, mute. It's just on the bottom menu. There you go.
Yeah, no, I've got it. No, you cut out. I didn't quite get what you said.
Oh, sorry. I was just saying, do you find the same thing in the UK, same seasonality?
Some companies do, but I don't really. It's pretty much the same all year round. I mean, obviously August can be a bit quiet, but no, nothing noticeable. So that's great in a way. I suppose people, when you think about new business, most people sort of think about it that January, it's like turning over a new leaf. So I think that can be a bit of an up month. And September can be when everybody's back from holidays thinking, oh, it's only 4 months to the end of the year, but nothing significant.
Yeah,
So-
no major spikes. What about you, Jessica? Are you seasonality around what's going on with a company, or like it's like not like you do taxes, but is there certain events that happen that things go? You think it goes quiet after the craziness in the first quarter, right?
Yeah, I think like in finance in general, I think everyone wants to start off their year strong. So January, February is quite, you're setting budgets, and then March until June is like executions. Everyone's really tracking, how's the trend going in the first half of the year. And then everyone's just sort of pitters out kind of July and August, and then have a bit of a rest and then re-strategize. Like they'll come back into September strong and wanting to talk like where are we at so far? We got 4 more months to course correct if necessary, or do we like how do we just finish the year in a good spot and start off fresh again in the next year? So I like taking the summer kind of the quiet time to just enjoy the peace, just knowing that it's going to get really busy between September and then really busy again in January.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. You need a time to enjoy the weather while it's nice and enjoy a little bit of family time, a little bit of let's. So I will crunch like you, like I can imagine Christina does this. I will crunch Mondays to Thursdays to try and squeeze a little bit out of an extra weekend. Like, can I get out early on a Friday? I'll do things like that. I don't know if others do that on a Monday instead. Whatever the slow day works out for you, I'll try and crunch towards that. So, and I'll do that a lot more in the summer. Like I end up doing it fall. It'll be let's crunch Monday to Thursday. Oh, good. That gives me enough time to work really long on Friday to finish up Friday strong. Great job. I didn't get any time back. That never usually works out for me well when it's busy, but that's it. It's still, you can, there's something about closing a week where you've gotten things wrapped up and you're kind of like, you're not lingering something over the weekend. Although there's a lot of people that find the weekend a great time to catch up too. So I don't know how you guys do. I wouldn't do that during the summer. I mean, I definitely wouldn't. That would be my time to kind of not do any of that kind of stuff at all. So what about, so Dorothy, you're wrapping up, you're switching seasons now, you're switching from the charity onto, you said you're working on your personal brand. Oh, you're muted there too. Sorry, I caught you off guard there.
So the charity is never off. It's always on. So now we're moving into the gala season. So yeah. So for me, it doesn't end and looking for grants. It doesn't end with that. But for the business, it's ramping up for the fall. People reaching out for me to, either MC some panel discussion or do other things. And then for me, it's rolling out. I'm testing a new workshop, working with other. Throughout the summer, I did work with one membership group to run some AI workshops throughout that. So want to extend that into the fall. So I see things like that is so for me. I use the summer to work on the business if it gets slow. So that's pretty much so. Come fall, things are in place to ramp up. So yeah.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. So Henrik, you mentioned your wife has a big garden. And you guys kind of moved to a retirement area. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but is the summer just hanging around home seems good enough, right?
Yeah, most people hang around home. We have half an acre, so, and the wife has a couple of hundred rose plants. So,
Couple of hundred, holy cow.
Yeah. Seriously, yeah. So, always stuff to do. So we hang around a lot here. We did a day trip here this week, and we did a round trip here 2 weeks ago. But we're kind of homebodies in the summertime.
That's nice. So there's Henrik is in the Niagara area, beautiful area. So when I was out in go ahead, sorry, Henrik.
No, I'm not saying anything.
Oh, good. I think I'm just getting feedback on myself here. Yeah, I was when I was in Vancouver, I have to admit, going on touring all the different towns, like the thought of like what would life be like, to live in a smaller area, remote in. I know, Adam, you've done that before with the Europe trip and stuff like that. Have you guys ever tossed that around? Like, okay, as things wind down, can I go into a different market? Do I need to be in the market that I'm in right now? Has that ever occurred to you guys? You work from Spain, Tracy, right? You're nodding.
So Richard, when you say market, you mean
Geographic.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was talking to Miranda earlier, and she lived way out in Orangeville, and it was as her business grew, she was talking about having to move to not move, but to visit Toronto. And now her catchment area is including a lot of driving and whatnot. So I remember after the pandemic, everybody started moving to these smaller towns, and I was thinking about that a lot when I was in Vancouver. Like some of the areas are smaller, more remote and whatnot, but give a different sense of like when you're off work kind of thing. So like, does that still exist? Like you hear a lot of organizations forcing companies back to work, whatnot. I talked to my brother who's in software as well. He's been put full remote now, where like at first they were pushing to bring it back, and now he's remote again. So it's like kind of like that whole world is playing around, and we are whatever we want to be, right? Has that ever stretched you guys in terms of like where you live and like thoughts about where you live, or is that's just me living in my imagination? I don't know.
I've lived in loads of different places, and it's never made any difference to me in 35 years. But it's interesting you say that about people going back to the office, because I read some research recently that said young people are desperate to get back to the office because they're getting lonely at home, which is totally understandable, and I think very healthy. I mean, hey, young people talking to each other rather than this all the time.
Yeah, no, 100%. It really helps them from a mentor perspective too, and just getting noticed to get, it can working remotely. I've heard numbers say like it can damage your growth as well, right? So, but we're remote regardless. Like, I mean, do you feel like being remote because you're one and only person, right?
For me, I live on my own. I don't really know anybody in the immediate area, so I have to go to the car, into the car to go and find people. And I think and I've only been here for actually 18 months, gosh. And I am considering sort of whether or not I ought to move, because I think it does make a difference. You sort of lose, you almost become, I think, somebody that can't be around other people. You don't quite know how to have a conversation other than a business conversation, which is crazy.
Yeah, I always get jealous when I go and visit Adam and the gang in Hamilton because they've got this walkable downtown where like people are just feels like there's a cookie shop over here. There's bars all over the place, right? It just feels like it's meant to network. And then I live in Mississauga, which is like a community. It's a you wouldn't know that, Tracy, but it's a cute. Mississauga 50 years ago was a bunch of villages that mashed together into a city. So it's a real disparate rural area. So you've got to drive anywhere to get anywhere, really, right? So, but go ahead, Eden. You had your hand up there.
I was just going to say, I have been in business for 15 years. And during that time, and even when I was working for other people, I did a bit of remote work. I've been remote since then. Things have changed. So for me personally, I'm not planning on changing, and it doesn't matter where I am unless there's a government that decides to put tariffs or something on work that people are doing in foreign countries, which, you know, is not out of the realm of possibility right now. And you know, at the same time, I also had, I'm trying to think, 25 years of experience or something working for other people, working in an office, working you know, so I've had that. Just to add on to what Tracy was saying, because I have a bit of a different twist. Not only have I led multi-generational teams, but I also have kids, both on the millennial and the Gen Z cusp, and they're mixed about being mandated back to the office. So I think for them, they like, and okay, and granted, we're in Toronto, which is like London. It's incredibly expensive to live here. There's high unemployment right now, especially with the youth, and it's expensive to commute. So what they're saying is they like the face-to-face. They don't want it to be 5 days a week. They realize the value in mentoring people who report to them and being mentored, and they're missing all of that. And I see it in my practice also as a coach, you know, what's missing in the generation gaps, and there's a big experience gap. However, I think companies that are forcing anybody of any age right now to go back 5 days a week are getting, for the most part, a lot of people aren't happy. There are some people who love it and embrace it, but for the most part, there's a lot of grumbling here. Especially think about all the people who left the city and moved to the suburbs or to cottage country or whatever, and now they're being told they have to be in the office 5 days a week. It's tricky.
It's true. I totally agree with both of you guys. I think there's maybe the option to get into the office because you want to see you, especially when you're young, you're starting out. You want to see people, and then I used to work in Toronto from Mississauga. It's an hour and a half commute. I used to work in Hamilton. That was an hour commute. I'm not looking forward to doing that again, but to the opportunity to meet. So that said, I'm going to set up some in-person meetings again. I'll set up a few of them. We're going to do my roundabout. We'll do Toronto. I found a great spot in Toronto. I hope it works with you guys. I go to the Yorkdale Station and there's a coffee place. I can't remember. It's Cafe. What is it called again? It's Cafe
Landwer. LANWDER.
Yeah. So they got a patio while the weather's still there. And it's, for me, saying hop off the highway and I can park somewhere. You guys can hopefully subway it there. I'm going to try and hit Hamilton again. I'm going to do, obviously, Dorothy, Mississauga. We'll do something. Henrik, I don't know.
I like the Stony Creek winery. That was
that was a drive for me. I'm going to try. I'm going to try to get down there. I was going to say that we'll have to get Mark to set something up again. So I went all the way down to, what's it, the Ridge? I want to say the Ridgeway.
I can't remember the name of the winery, but it was actually hot that day. It was back in June. It was really hot.
Yeah, it was really
it was
super
very
hot.
nice.
Yeah. It's up on the mountain, Adam, but towards Niagara. I don't know what you call that when you get down there. The escarpment, not the mountain. Sorry, but I'm going to do some of that. So Jessica, you'll see us in person and Tracy's the only one. We'll have to get no, you're not going to fly out here. No way. Not for that. That would be ridiculous. If you have family, for sure, Tracy, we'll get you out here. We'll see you. But I hope things work out better. Like, I mean, you're in a small town in England then, I guess, small little town in the UK or? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
Like-
about 8 miles south of a city.
Okay.
But yeah, it's still quite isolating. Although I've got my friend's little Dachshund with me for the last few weeks, and I was out walking the dog today, and somebody pulled up in a car, stopped, got out, and said, "Hey, you've got a Dachshund. I've got a Dachshund. Do you fancy going for a walk together?" I thought, wow, in 18 months.
That's what you need to meet people as a dog.
That's all
Yeah.
it takes is a dog, really. It really
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that I don't know whether anybody knows anything about Dachshunds, but they bark at everything. So
I know.
they tend to repel people rather than attract people, to be fair. So yeah, but it was just quite funny the way she pulled up really quickly and jumped out the car. I thought, wow, what's going on here?
It's an attack.
Exactly. Luckily,
Anyhow,
it's-
guys, I'm gonna wrap up a little early and let you guys enjoy the rest of. Well, for me, it's sunny. It's raining, I guess, in Toronto, but it's sunny. So I'm looking out the sun. I'm looking out the basement window. I don't even know if it's sunny. It looks like there's light coming in from there somewhere.
It's not sunny.
Yeah, it's not. It's not in Mississauga. Okay, frig. I don't know. I gotta get a bigger window. have enjoy the last long weekend, guys, and then we'll talk in September. I know the atmosphere will be a little bit more upbeat when we see each other in September again. Enjoy, guys. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Thanks. Have a great Labor Day weekend,
Bye now.
everyone.
Everybody.
Bye.
See you, everyone.
Good meeting you.